3 months since the Brexit vote, and Britain, you're still here. As we say in Europe, the French leave without saying goodbye, and the Brits apparently say goodbye without leaving. Britain, I've got news for you. You're never leaving. It's a European tradition. Your vote will be ignored. And now that I've said that, no doubt some of you will leave some angry comments like the many I've received so far. Some passionate, some funny, very few spelled correctly. In fact, here are my top 10 favorites. At number 10, Vot63 writes, "We'll see how hard you laugh when Trump becomes president. Twat." Aw, you called me twat. I feel like I'm one of you now. And if Trump becomes president, I might actually become one of you. Number 9, in reaction to the headline, British frantically Googling what is the EU hours after voting to leave it, and my prediction that Brexit will never actually happen, Schlibber writes, "You know, I think you're right. I don't think it's going to happen, but I'll be sure to Google the implications the day after they happen." Ha 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 ha! At number 8, JPT writes, "EU is becoming a true Orwellian nightmare." Well, since Orwell himself was from Britain, I guess in Europe we got a bit less Orwellian. Number 7, Rex Mundi, "Pretty soon football hooliganism will be the only thing the UK is exporting to Europe." 6, Julius the Writer, "We want freedom, not some nationalist experiment." Oh, so you don't want a nationalist experiment? Well, you just voted the same way as Britain First, which is pretty nationalist, and you voted to leave the EU with no idea what would happen, which I would call a pretty big experiment, a Brexperiment. Yes, you heard it here first. 5, Eric the Dread, "I can't understand why Americans are so eager to see European nations being dictated by faceless foreign bureaucrats in Brussels." Faceless bureaucrats? They do have faces. And if you care to read anything but The Sun and the Daily Mail, they even have names. But you're right, they are foreign. Scary. At number 4, Cliff Bond. Actually, this whole thing was a new British sitcom starring old goon characters such as Major Boris Bloodnock with Monty Python ideas such as the Looney Party and the Ministry of Silly Ideas with upper-class twit Nigel. Ha ha ha. At number 3, Jack Druitt. "Which way would you vote any second referendum? Around 2/3 of the UK are against it, including me." Good point, I'd vote Remain, but I think it's interesting that your logo is Captain Britain from Marvel Comics, and if it's anything like Captain America of the Avengers, then your hero is in fact part of an unelected supergroup with secret powers, spending huge amounts of money hovering somewhere over the rest of us. Or in other words, it's sort of like the Tories. Number 2, Mike Jarrett. "Brexit is worth a try, and obviously, for once, the little man roared. I hope we don't choke, but we were British, stiff upper lip and all that. No tea for me, though, I hate it." What? No tea? You're not really British. Now, Roger Dolby, Agent Smith, Brian Taylor, your feedback was so dense, I'll probably have to reply point by point later. But number 1 is Monkey, who writes, "Who is this guy? Who cares?" I replied, or to quote Nigel Farage, "Who are you? I'd never heard of you. Nobody in Europe has ever heard of you. You have the charisma of a damp rag." To which Monkey replied, "You trolled yourself better than I could. I concede defeat. Good day, sir." Britain, someday, will look back at this whole Brexit drama and it will all seem funny. Unless you're not British, in which case, it's pretty fucking funny right now. For United States of Europe, I'm Greg Shapiro.
Newsroom, it's a newsroom. Listen to the sound of the newsroom. Anything can happen in a newsroom. News, 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 news.